From brakes to vehicle electronics to even rotating electrics and the whole engine. Remanufacturing is becoming a bigger part of the aftermarket today. And not only does it offer customers a slightly cheaper alternative to potentially OE products and products that have actually been rebuilt in order to make sure that they work more efficiently, but in a growing world where the climate emergency is being recognised, they're also quite sustainable. So from a green angle and a price angle, they are much better than standard off-the-shelf parts. But what goes into remanufacturing? And what's the difference between remanufacturing and recycling?
Remanufacturing restores the whole product to a like new or better than new condition by reconditioning or replacing all parts of the product, whilst recycling or repairing simply repairs the section of the product which is faulty.
We live in a world where resources are finite. The cost of repairing cars, the cost of living is going up, and therefore the cost of repairing cars are going up. And the quality of aftermarket components can vary. Remanufacturing, certainly at our level, is providing a customer with a like-new replacement that is as good as new with a 2-year warranty for significantly less than replacement. So from a purely cost-saving exercise, it's brilliant. You get just as good a product, you get a longer warranty in most cases than a main dealer replacement, and you know it's going to fit the car because it came off your car. So there's a guarantee there. The separate guarantee is that you're doing less harm to the environment. You're being more conscious with your actions. You're looking after the environment, and the vehicle that you own is an investment, and keeping that on the road for longer is an investment.
Now, when it comes to key components like brakes and electrics and other mechanical items, processes can be a little bit different. And one of the main areas where companies need to focus is the core. Bringing the good core in and making sure that they can use it is essential. But it's not just about that. Manufacturing processes are also becoming greener.
So good core is absolutely key to the process. We rely on core returns from the customers. So when we sell a product, we rely on the customer returning their old core back so we can then recondition that. So it's a cycle. And we also purchase core from the core dealers as well. So every piece that we get must be OE. So if we get a copy casting back, that will not be used because we can't guarantee the quality. So that will be scrapped straight away. Yeah, that will then be processed. On average, we get a yield of about 92%. The other 8% is then scrapped and recycled as well. A huge amount of work goes into remanufacturing a brake caliper. The product's fully disassembled into its individual components. Each component is then inspected and measured to identify if it can be reused or scrapped. The usable items are then cleaned and reconditioned. Any known wear items such as seals, fasteners, circlips, shims, bleed screws, pistons, they're all 100% replaced with new on every caliper. The casting itself goes through a cleaning process and a blasting process before it's zinc plated for corrosion resistance. Once the components are all reconditioned, they go through a full assembly process before they're 100% end-of-line tested to OE specifications, which ensures OE quality and longevity of the product.
Now, today's cars are full of electronics, and therefore full of ECUs, wiring, and even more electronic components in battery electric, plug-in hybrid and hybrid vehicles. So that adds another complexity to remanufacturing. It's not just about the key mechanical components anymore, but all the systems in the car. And buying a new ECU isn't cheap. So being able to get one repaired and remanufactured could offer your customer a way out of a big bill.
I'll break it to sort of two areas. It's deeply technical, not only from a mechanical aspect as well. So those components like ECUs are mechanically sealed together. They don't want to come apart. They're not designed to necessarily come apart in most cases. So we've had to develop ways to open those casings safely without damaging the internal components. Identifying the fault, We've built in-house testing rigs to run them as if they're fitted to a car, to see how they operate. And then we'll identify through experience, through time, what those common failure points are for certain ECUs. We might see, I don't know, coarser ECU for argument's sake. We might say that, well, that resistor often fails. But we might see one come in and go, that one hasn't failed yet, but we'll preemptively replace it so that we're providing a product back to the customer that is better than the new one with an upgraded resistor. I mean, I've made that up, but for argument's sake. And then, so there's a physical aspect to it. From a standpoint of testing, all that in-house testing rig is designed by us so that we can guarantee the work that our engineers are putting out. There's quality control tests throughout it. There's a start test, an end-of-line test. They're verified by another engineer who's worked on it, and they run up as if they're on the car.
Single components are one thing, but an entire engine being remanufactured takes a lot of effort. However, it also reduces the landfill of old engines, and it gives customers an option to go for a slightly cheaper unit. Let's face it, an engine replacement is not something people do on a whim. The bigger the item, the more work will go into it. And with an engine, there's more to do, from crank grinding and full cylinder head machining to a complete reassembly, full test, painting, installation parts instructions, and more. Engine remanufacturing specialist Ivor Searle told us, remanufacturing an engine or component back to OEM standard is an industrialised process that requires considerable expertise and thorough inspection procedures. In addition, price and product availability are key advantages for workshops buying remanufactured products, with major units such as Ivor Searle engines costing around 40% less than brand new. Remanufactured units offer a sustainable solution compared to purchasing a brand new OEM product, as considerably less energy and materials are used in the remanufacturing process. Remanufacturing conserves approximately 55 kilograms in core metal, and around 85% of the engine's original components are returned to OEM specification. Now, while remanufacturing does provide a cost benefit to customers, there is also that sustainability effort, reusing products and making the world a greener place. But of course, not all products can be remanufactured. And when environmental concerns are becoming more critical, with more awareness of the climate emergency, aftermarket companies are rising to the challenge. For those products that can't be remanufactured, there are other ways and methods of ensuring that they remain sustainable. So what are these businesses doing about it?
I think all of us now are more aware of the harm we can do to nature, the planet. There's a much higher social conscience around that kind of thing now, like all people, all age groups, especially the younger age group, I think. And subsequently, consciousness of end users, vehicle owners, and what parts and products they're using has really become an impact now. I think we've seen it in the home, and now I think it's passing into vehicles and cars, and I think it's just got such a topic. It's really on people's consciousness now. The product really has to be genuinely sustainable. I think, and speaking from a really prominent brand as well, you can get things that are perhaps marketed to impress, and really the substance behind it perhaps isn't always bang on. So it's got to be genuinely sustainable. I think you can label anything green, greener, eco, etc. But you've got to adhere to the legislation. You've got to make sure that's absolutely right, otherwise the credibility goes. And with filtration, it's not just the effect on the environment, it's can the whole assembly be more eco-conscious? Can the materials used in the production, can the factory that's actually making it be more sustainable as well? So it's not just the physical product that you're taking, buying, fitting on the car, on the truck. It's literally, has it been made in a responsible way as well? And I think you can tell a story then.
When it comes to products that are sustainable, oil may not be the top of most people's lists. But even this industry is striving to be greener, with new manufacturing processes and techniques and different types of lubricant all being put together to ensure that oil can be green but still work in modern cars.
So re-refined base oil is basically used oil that has passed through various chemical processes. It must pass through the same refinery process and distillation process as traditional crude oil, and it's basically taking used oil and bringing it back to life again. Bringing it back to life to be used as a lubricant again, incorporating a brand new additive package in there. The oil must still pass through the same certification process as crude oil. These products still must undergo the testing requirements for the technical specifications associated with whether it's a passenger car market or the motorcycle market. So we must still pass through the various testing requirements. This relates to engine performance, clutch compatibility, and compatibility with after treatment systems as well. Obviously, we see a massive decrease in the amount of CO2 emissions, approximately 35% decrease in CO2 emissions by using re-refined base stock products. Additionally, the energy required to produce re-refined base oils is between 50 to 80%, significant less energy. And the yield is absolutely huge, as I mentioned. Traditional crude oil, you're only getting half a litre from a barrel. Whereas with this whole re-refined process, you're actually able to get about an 80% yield, which can be converted into oil again. Oil that can be used in your engine or gearbox.
So remanufacturing and sustainability really do go hand in hand. There are benefits to customers, lower cost, better products, and greener environmental credentials. What's not to love? The aftermarket of the future can start being green today.